What's going on YouTube? This is Chris Reed. This is my first YouTube review on a mod, e-cig, whatever. The reason I haven't been doing reviews already is because everybody's doing reviews. Some people are really good at it, and some people just aren't. And I didn't want to be in the you aren't category, so I'm going to try to make this as informative and as entertaining to watch, I guess, because I'm not really going to just tell you a joke or nothing, but I'm going to at least try to be lively about it. The reason I'm doing this review is because I've noticed that a lot of people just do reviews on all the same things. There's some stuff out there that nobody's really done reviews on, and I think they need reviews. And here, for instance, I got this for a really, really good deal from my buddies at the eSpot Vape Shop, and I took it under suggestion, and I wasn't disappointed, and I couldn't find a review on it anywhere. I wanted to watch a review on it before I got it in the mail, and the only thing I could find was a French guy, and I had to watch it with the captions on, and then he didn't even do a good review of it. So I'm going to try to do a better job. Hopefully this can help some people make a decision on whether this is the mod or not the mod for them. The eSpot Vape Shop, you can check these guys out, their website at espotVapeShop.com, just the letter E, spotvapeshop.com, or their Facebook, facebook.com/the eSpot Vape Shop. They have a 1-800 number, 844-MY-eSpot. They ship to you. They shipped it to me. I got it in 2 days. It was in really nice wrapping, bubble wrap and all that. So, I mean, they protected it good. Their direct line, if you want to call them straight up, is 318-348-4860. That's the eSpot Vape Shop in Monroe, Louisiana. Okay, so here's what we're going to be looking at today. The Imode15 from Pioneer4You. Same guys that make the IPV, IPV2, IPV3. Really good stuff from Pioneer4You. I really enjoy the IPV2. I use it all the time. I got a fogger on it right now. I'm really enjoying the fogger. We're going to open it up and look. We'll look at this top box real quick. Just the Pioneer4You logo. Simple little design to show you kind of like what it looks like. Of course, you had to be 18 years or older to participate in any vaping activities. I seen a trick video today. Kid couldn't have been 16 years old doing the tornado, and he sucked at it. All right, look. I understand. At least he's not smoking cigarettes, but we're having a hard enough time with the government trying to keep them off our back when it comes to vaping. So if you know any guys that are under the age of 18 and it's clear that they're under the age of 18, tell them to keep them videos off of YouTube, because all it's going to do is give vaping a bad name. The most important thing is not to smoke cigarettes. I haven't smoked cigarettes in a while now. I really enjoy vaping, and I'd like to continue vaping. So anything that's going to damage that or hurt it, in the public's opinion, I try to discourage that. It comes with a user's manual, like most mods of this category. Adjustable voltage, adjustable wattage. Comes with a user's manual. Has the do's and the don'ts. How to turn it on, how to turn it off. I'm going to go over all that. So we're not going to read this thing verbatim or anything, but I am going to set it up here. So in case I go to forget something, I have it to look at. There we go. It comes with a certificate of inspection from wherever it came from, someplace in China. So, I mean, at least somebody cares whether or not it's going to blow up in my hand. That'd be a bad review, wouldn't it? Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's in this little foam-like casing here. So it's not going to shake around or bounce around, so you ain't to worry about it if you get it shipped to you. Like I said, the eSpot guys, they put it in bubble wrap and all that nice stuff, so when I got it, it would be all protected. This is the Imode15. Looks kind of like your Vamo, more like your Vamo than your Tesla, but basically in the same class. 15 watts, 5.5 volts. Not much to look at. It's the silver version. They come in black. Here's the Pioneer4You logo right there. Got a breathing hose at the bottom for your battery. This says L0341. I'm guessing that's the serial number for this one right here. I guess they all come with different numbers. This has a removable top ring, comes off, and as you can see up here, it's slotted for your tanks, like your Kanger Pro tanks that have those air holes at the bottom of the pin. Down here, there's air holes for them to breathe. So that's those slots. That means they'll work good on those tanks. Right here is your Ego style threading. I'm past that stage in my vaping. I don't use those tanks really anymore, but if you have an EVOD or like a Kanger Pro Tank Mini 2 or something, it will work on this. Okay, it has a floating pin up here, and that's a plus. It's a real nice pin. It's stiff, but not too stiff, and it works good. It works the way it's supposed to. Has good connection. This thing comes all the way apart. There's your positive post. This thing is in there. It's not adjustable. You can't screw it in and out, and it's not going anywhere. It's not moving. I mean, it's in there. So, I mean, you're not going to have to worry about your battery getting good connection. These two pieces right here, they come apart as well. This takes an 18650 or an 18350 battery. Here's your spring. It's nice and stiff. I believe this is a brass spring on here. It doesn't look like it's coated. It looks like it's brass. It's nice and stiff. So you don't have to worry about it getting a bad connection on that end either. I use an 18650 battery in it just because when I put it together, in the 18350 form, it's just not big enough for me. Like, I like the bigger feel, but maybe, you know, you're a lady, or maybe you're a guy that needs to put it in your pocket or something, and you can't have that big, long, lightsaber looking mod, then maybe the 18350 will work for you. Just preference, really. But since I use the 18650, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together in there, and we'll go ahead and put a battery in this. Okay. 5 quick clicks turns it on. 5 turn it off. All right. This thing has a reverse battery protection, where if you put your battery in backwards, you're gonna blow this thing up. An overcurrent protection. It monitors the battery, so when your battery level gets low, it tells you. Up here, it'll say low V when your battery gets below 3.2 volts. This is a LCD display, so it's nice and bright. You won't have to worry about it. If it's in the daylight, you'll be able to see this no matter what. I guarantee it. It has thermal monitoring as well, which means if the battery gets too hot, it'll go into protection mode. So you don't have to worry about that either. Okay, we're going to turn this thing back on. You hold both these buttons to switch between volts and watts. That's volts. As you can see, it moves in 1.1 increments. It goes all the way up to 5.5 volts. Hold them 2 buttons again. Now we're in watts. This goes all the way up to 15 watts as it advertises. There you go. Up and down, left and right. I use it on 12. That's what I like it. It's my preference. So that's where we're going to leave it. Okay, now since we've got this going on, I'm going to show you the one thing I don't like about it. You might have already caught on while I was doing this, but this is the only complaint that I really have. These buttons right here. See how they they kind of come out of there a little bit. They're not going to come out. I even tried to pull them a little bit without pulling too hard. I didn't want to break it, but they're not going to fall out on you. I mean, that's just, you know, Bambos don't do that. Teslas don't do that. I was just wondering why a company like Pioneer4You, you know, I mean, might be something they know I don't know, you know, but I mean, I don't know. It's just a little weird. I got used to it. It doesn't bother me anymore. My thought on it is that if you get one of these, you'll probably be happy with it too, and you'll probably get used to it. I mean, it won't even bother you anymore. When I first got it, I was like, "What is this?" I even called him and I was like, "Hey, guy, are these two buttons supposed to move?" And he was like, "Yeah, they all do that." And I was like, "That's weird." And he was like, "What do you think about it anyway?" I was like, "Well, I think the buttons ought to be in there a little better." But other than that, you know, I got used to it. I even called the guy back at the E-Spot and told him, you know, "Hey, look, I really like the thing. I'm happy with it." So here we go. Back onto the review. Got the battery in there. We've got it set. So we've got the top ring removed. This is a Kanger Pro Tank Mini 2. All right, I'm going to show you what this thing fits like on here. You've got to push down a little bit with this thing. Just to get it on the floating pin, you have to push down just a little bit. Okay, it's not a big deal, just a little bit. That's what it's going to look like on there. Doesn't look bad. Fits nice and tight. There's no gap in between it. Forms like it should. Okay. So off with the Pro Tank Mini, and let's get the Kanger Pro Tank 2. Okay, now this is what I'm going to say about this. All right. The beauty ring that comes with the Kanger. Okay. When you put it on here, the top right here is higher than the beauty ring. What does that mean? I'm going to show you. When you put this on there, see, I'm trying to get the light good. There's a little gap. I don't even know. It's so small that you can barely see it. But there's a gap in between the ring and the tank. Can even fold the card and it still goes in there. Okay, so what I found is you can unscrew this, the tank just a little bit, and unscrew the ring and then screw the tank down. Now what you've got is a little gap in between the mod and the ring. I don't like that. It's not that big a deal, but you know, it is what it is. Kanger Pro Tank 2, I mean, it forms like it should on here, but that's the one thing that I didn't like about that is that. But I don't use this tank anymore, so for you that have this, you know, work with it. It doesn't look bad, but I mean, it's not that great either. Let me take. Here we go. This is the Aspire Nautilus Mini. It has a ring on it too. So now I'm gonna put its beauty ring on here. And it fits like it should. All the way down on there, there's no gap. That's the way it ought to be. these are the tanks right here. The Aero Tank Megas, you know, they're good. You know, all the new Aero tanks that are coming out that are adjustable airflow, I like them, but they are not this good. They are not as good as these. So I suggest that if you haven't got a Nautilus tank and you're serious about vaping, that you get one. It will change your mind about flavor. Some flavors I didn't even like, I like now thanks to this. You hear Charlie? That's my basset hound. The mailman's coming. Okay, so I've showed you the ego threading. I have showed you the like I said, the Kanger Pro tank. That's where these slots come in because they have air holes down there at the bottom of that pin. We already talked about that. So moving on, we're going to put the ring back on. Now it's all nice and flush like it should. Now I'm going to show you the regular Nautilus tank, the full size, if you will. Right when it gets tight, it's on the mod. So you don't have to worry about over tightening it with this tank. And look how nice that looks. I mean, 22 millimeter, sitting pretty. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better looking setup. And look at that vapor. I mean, gotta get you one of these tanks. So, Imode15, final thoughts. It's a good mod. The connections are good. Battery life lasts a good while. I don't even have a real expensive 18650 in here. I've got a Panasonic cheaper version. You know, you can't charge the battery while it's in here, but it's not a big deal. I've got mechanical mods, so I'm used to having to take the batteries out and put them on the charger. It's no big deal. I vape on it all day easy without having to charge it. I haven't just went and seen how long it takes me to run this battery down. But I can tell you that for an all-day vape, if you're somewhere where you can charge it at night, or you have another battery that's charged, it'll last you all day. And I mean, I vape on this thing. I mean, I burned through a whole tank and I still have battery left. So there you go. If you want to check your battery voltage, like I said, it'll tell you when it's low, but you hold the pin that's on the left side if it's facing you. And there it is. 4 volts is what this battery has left. Hold the other side. It tells you your ohm. It says that we're at a 1.6 ohm. Now it says 1.7. Okay. It's a little on the ohm reading, but I mean, does that really matter unless you're using a rebuildable, which this thing says that it won't work below a 1 ohm. Okay, but that's not entirely true. It's only 15 watts, so why you would want to build below a 1 ohm and use on here, I'm not sure. But let's say you've got 30 gauge Canthal and you have a fogger and you want to do like 10 wraps with 30 gauge. You'll have like a 1.1, 1.2 ohm. And you can put it on here and use it. You crank it all the way up to 15 watts. Okay, this is actually a 1.8 ohm coil on this. Let me just show you real quick. It won't be that impressive. Here's IPv2 and here's my fogger. Okay, my fogger is built at a 0.9. I use it on this at like 22 watts and I get a really nice vape. Once again, 22 millimeter. If you want to build your own, ohms a little higher on your coil, the fogger looks really nice on this mod too. Okay, so I'm gonna crank this thing on up to 15 watts and watch this. I'll show you real quick. This is 4 volts left in the battery, 0.9. So That's what my IPV says it is, and that's what my ohm meter says it is. So it is reading this right. And there you go. 0.9, it fired. I wouldn't suggest trying to use anything below a 1 ohm, but like I said, 0.9, it still works. So would I suggest this thing? I sure would. Especially when it comes to the best bang for your buck. You've got the Vamos, which are like $15 to $10 if you can find one a little cheaper than that. $10 to $15 more expensive than the Imode. Then you've got the Teslas that are probably $20 more expensive than the Imode. And they're going to do the same thing. Why these things aren't more popular in the States, I'm not real sure. But Pioneer4You makes real good products. I suggest that if you're looking at a variable voltage, variable wattage mod, this is not a bad choice. Okay, it's just not a bad choice. The clicky button thing, like I said, it was easy for me to get used to, and I'm picky when it comes to my mods. So I have to say that when it comes to a variable voltage, variable wattage mod, this is exactly what it's supposed to do. It has all the nice features that I like. It does a round robin. You can go up and down. It has a really nice screen, really nice connections. So there you go. Imode15 by Pioneer4You. It would help if my air hole was open. Alright, y'all stay tuned in. I got some new mods coming. I'm going to do some new reviews on some things that other people aren't doing reviews on. So there you go. Imode15. In comparison to the Vamo and the Tesla, it's right up there. I mean, there's no reason to spend the extra $15 when you can get one of these and it's going to do the exact same thing. And it doesn't look bad. So, with that being said, happy vaping. Y'all stay tuned in. I don't know how many subscribers I'm going to get, but y'all subscribe. I'm going to keep putting reviews out there.